Welcome everyone to the launch of Vitality with Zwift, our newest global fitness partner. I'm here with South African cycling legend Ashleigh Moolman Pasio, who's recently finished 13th in the women's cycle race at the most recent Tokyo Olympics. Ashleigh, congratulations. Can you tell us a bit about your time in Japan?
Hi, Mosima. So nice to join you today. The Tokyo Olympic Games was quite an amazing experience. Obviously, it's been a really challenging time with the COVID pandemic, and there was a huge question mark whether this Olympic Games would happen at all. So just the fact that it did happen was really something to celebrate. And it was a slightly different Olympic Games this time around. Obviously, with the COVID pandemic still very much a reality in our everyday life, we had to take a lot of extra precautions. So we were tested every day. And I suppose the biggest difference really was the fact that, unfortunately at most Olympic Games, one of the big highlights is the sort of camaraderie and interaction between the different athletes from different sporting disciplines and the different countries. But unfortunately, we had to limit this interaction a little bit this time around. And also as a cyclist, we weren't ever based in the Olympic Village. We were in a satellite village, a little bit outside of Tokyo. So we were kind of in our own cycling bubble, which of course had its benefits around the COVID pandemic, but did change the experience as such, because I unfortunately never managed to see any of my Team South Africa colleagues from different sporting codes. But yeah, I was very grateful to be part of the Olympic Games, and it was a great experience.
Ashleigh, I can imagine that the lockdown essentially imposed challenges in terms of how you would have trained. An amateur cyclist, I've actually learned that during the lockdown, I had to actually exercise indoor. And I actually leveraged this platform called Zwift, which I'm pretty sure you're familiar with. So I just want to shift a little bit on Zwift and just introduce what it is and just get your thoughts essentially on how, as you are training during this challenging period, it helped to transform your training. So for those who don't know, Zwift is a gaming meets fitness platform. It basically allows you to cycle all over the world from the comfort of your own home or gym. All you need is to just have a smart bike or an indoor trainer. Ashleigh is also the current esports world champion, which took place on Zwift. So she's definitely no stranger to Zwift. But all of this exciting stuff, though, is not the only reason that we're here today. We are riding in the Vitality for UNICEF Ride Series launch event this coming Monday at 6 p.m. with Ashleigh as well as her fellow Olympian Stefan de Board. SA cycling legend Nick White will also be joining us and some of my colleagues on the Discovery's executive team. We want you to join us, but you'll need to set up your Zwift account. Ashleigh, can you tell us about how Zwift has changed your training?
Yeah, well, during the height of the COVID pandemic, I was based in Spain, and we suffered a very harsh lockdown, as I suppose South Africa did too. And so, as you said, I was also not allowed to train outdoors, so I was restricted to training indoors. And initially, this was quite a daunting sort of reality, because I in the past didn't really enjoy training on indoor trainers. I much preferred going outdoors. And I suppose the whole reason was that, I found it often quite, boring. An hour felt like 5 hours on the indoor trainer. And also training on an indoor trainer can sometimes feel a little bit harder than outdoors, because, you don't have the freewheel aspect that you do outdoors. But anyways, I had been introduced to Zwift the year before, and I'd probably only done one training ride on Zwift, but I had a great indoor training setup. So I felt like, well, this is the time to really embrace it. And I must say, Zwift totally transformed my indoor cycling experience to such an extent that I actually became quite addicted, and hence, therefore, winning the esports world title at the end of 2020. So yeah, I absolutely love Zwift. I think the most amazing aspect about Zwift is the fact that you can really make your training very social, so there's a lot of group rides happening, just like the Vitality UNICEF ride series. We can join a whole lot of people with similar interests, and you have the wonderful company of these riders, and you can have lots of chat possibilities as well within the Zwift platform. But sometimes even, you know, I started chatting online in using the Discord app, so you actually can hear people, you know, while you're riding. So it's very much like doing a group ride outdoors. And for me, the main benefits of Zwift is, you know, firstly, it's so easy. You know, you can have your bike set up on the indoor trainer, so it just means putting on your kit and hopping straight on. You don't have to ride through traffic before you get to good training grounds. And also, you know, the safety aspect. You know, we have to be realistic that often, you know, training, especially in the big cities, can be, you know, there can be dangerous elements to it in terms of car traffic and these type of things. So that also is a huge benefit. And yeah, I mean, during the COVID pandemic, when I was training on Zwift, not only was it a great platform to build my power and fitness, my riding was more social than it had ever been before. And again, one of the most amazing things that I found with Zwift is that there literally are no boundaries or no borders. You know, I could be riding from Spain with family or friends in South Africa. And so that to me was just amazing. And not only South Africa, I mean, you can be riding with people from all around the world, from America to South America to Asia, you name it. You know, you can all meet together in these virtual worlds on Zwift. So for me, it's just such a wonderful platform. And I think, again, I saw great benefits for growing participation in cycling, because often cycling can be quite an intimidating sport. You know, you have to dress up in this lycra, you know, get on a bike, clip in with these cleated shoes, and all these things can be quite intimidating for newcomers. So I think Zwift is a great way to start, because you can try out all of these things from the safety of your own home, and you don't have to worry about embarrassing yourself or falling or having a puncture or something like that. So I really see great potential for Zwift to help grow participation and therefore make more people fit.
Ashleigh, I'm having goosebumps as we speak. You have really just summed up why I am a big fan of Zwift, right? Like completely. I love how you get to experience riding some of the most famous cycling routes across the globe from the comfort of your own home. And I also like the mass events that you find on Zwift, similar to the one we're just talking about today. And even for me, it has definitely changed my training for the better. I look forward to my ride on Monday, but I must say, riding against formidable competitors like yourself, Adrian Gore, Nick White, it's definitely going to be interesting. Ashleigh, can you share some tips for new Zwifters?
Well, yeah, for me, one of the most important things when it comes to training indoors and on Zwift is that you need to invest in a good fan. And I know that it's winter in South Africa at the moment, and it's probably not very hot, but the reality is, when you're training indoors, you generate heat pretty fast. And that's probably one of the biggest factors which leads to people not enjoying their ride, is that when they start to overheat, then it just feels that much harder because your heart rate goes up pretty high. So one of the most important things is to invest in a good fan, so that while you're riding and when you start generating all this heat and you start sweating, you can have the fan blowing on you and just making you feel that much better. So that's really important. And then another important factor is, of course, to focus on hydration, because, of course, when you're training indoors, again, you generally sweat much more than you would outdoors. So it's important to make sure that you stay hydrated, drink while you're riding, just to help you to get through the workout. And then, I mean, there's so many ways in which you can enhance your Zwift experience. Like, I definitely feel that, you know, if you can invest in getting your Zwift screen on a big screen, like, for example, on your TV, it does make your experience that much better, because it helps you to really immerse yourself into the virtual world. And then I suppose just other little things like, you know, there are ways of connecting to apps like Discord, where you can actually chat to people while you're riding, so that you don't have to always be typing. You can actually be talking to one another. So that's also great. And then, of course, there's all the gaming, you know, things within Zwift. So you have the power-ups, which can be a lot of fun. The important thing is to learn when best to use them. So you have the 4 main power-ups, which is my favorite is the lightweight, the feather lightweight power-up, because I'm a climber. So whenever I hit a climb, I love to use the feather power-up because it drops your weight by about 9 kilograms for a couple of seconds. So you really feel the boost, but it's important to use it once you've already started climbing so that you really feel the benefit of it. Then you have the aero helmet, which is great for sprint finishes. So if you're nearing the finish line and you're in a group and you think it's going to be a sprint, then it's great to use the aero power up because it just gives you an aero advantage for a couple of seconds. And then you have the truck, which is your aero booster. So if you push it while you're in a group, it enhances the benefit you get from drafting. And then, of course, you have the burrito, which stops people from drafting off you. So if you want to attack and make a breakaway from your group, then it's great to push the the burrito, because then people can't draft off you. So all these power-ups can be a little bit intimidating at first, but once you really realize how you use them, it can also be a lot of fun.
I mean, Ashleigh, I just want to echo the point you raised earlier about the fan. So I travel with my indoor trainer everywhere so that I can cycle wherever I am. But I have learned that I cannot Zwift without a fan. So that is spot on. I've just been amazed at how your heart rate just goes up very quickly. So if anyone is going to Zwift, definitely do get a fan. And I mean, I think you've all heard from what Ashleigh said. Zwift is actually a fun platform, potentially addictive, but it's a good addiction because it's good for your health ultimately.
Exactly.
One out there who wants to join us. From the 23rd of August until the 6th of September, every event that you complete in this ride series will help Vitality and UNICEF vaccinate millions of children worldwide. You can register for the event on the Zwift companion app. It is now live. There are big rewards for Vitality members. You can unlock a virtual Team Vitality kit for your Zwift avatar, and on Monday, we are going to announce the winner of the Vitality Pimp My Ride competition. And in this competition, 2 lucky winners are going to stand the chance to win a Garmin indoor trainer that is worth $26,999. And it's the very same trainer that Ashleigh uses. But for the longer term, this really is a tech and fitness revolution. I'm really excited that Vitality members who use Zwift will soon be able to earn points. As Vitality, we've made a pledge to make 100 million people 20% more active by 2025. And this is one of the key reasons why this partnership with Zwift is so beneficial. Ashleigh, we are so excited to have you join us in the launch ride. And the next time I see you, we'll virtually be on the start line.
Thanks, Mosima. It's just been so great chatting to you. And I'm just so excited about this partnership between Vitality and Zwift because, it's great to see collaborations that promote health and fitness. So I'm really excited for this Vitality for UNICEF Ride series, which is starting on Monday. And I really hope to see many people on the start line on Monday at 6 p.m. Together with Adrian Gore from Discovery, other Discovery execs, Stefan de Bort, David Higgs, Nick White. Come and join us to have some fun. But more importantly, the more people who take part, the more vaccines we donate to children for polio. So that's a very great cause to come out and ride your bike, not only to help with the vaccines, but also to get fit yourself. So I hope to see plenty of people on the start line.
Same here, Ashleigh, and thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll see you on the virtual starting line on Monday. Bye.